Episode number 374.
Because each of us gets more than 5,000 marketing messages a day. So how are you going to break through? You've got to have really great messaging. Wow. You've got to have really clear messaging that explains very quickly how you help solve their problems.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know your boy is always fired up on days like this, that we can talk about marketing, we can talk about helping businesses grow in many different ways, but especially from a professional, Miss Sheila Kloefkorn. Sheila, are you ready to be real?
I am.
Absolutely. And we were just talking earlier about her experience because we're reading that, but on the website it says, be part of something great, folks. And I like that. Be part of something great. But Miss Sheila has had over 25 years of experience, specifically working in like a lot of enterprise business relationships. Like she talked about business to business relationships, and they're out in the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. But you also created an incredible business for yourself where, KEO marketing is, growing these Fortune 1000 brands and bigger, and also doing it at scale. And then obviously a female entrepreneur in charge of your own ship. And that's got to be fun. But take me back into your journey. Were you always into like marketing, advertising? Were you always into creating campaigns and things like that?
No, my background is in education. I have a master's degree in education, but wow. I got into marketing as a part of education, used to run a very big operations for a very big agency in New York, which we sold. And I founded this agency 20 years ago. We will be 22 in about 10 days.
Wow. That is a huge mark. I mean, we salute anyone that's obviously over 2 years, but 22 years is an incredible thing. And also seen a lot of evolution. I know that like even with our business, I worked in the traditional space, worked for Disney, ABC television, broadcast, all that stuff, and then started seeing digital, started seeing things, hit at some point, and then positioning to go do my own thing. And that was what I
good,
really,
right?
It feels incredible. It feels incredible. And the thing we really love personally is we gravitate and actually work with agencies a lot of times with them. And we've had to see them evolve and adapt over these last, 12 years.
Absolutely.
And mine's only been 12, but yours is 22. And I'm sure you've seen it the 10 years before that evolve on the things you can do, the services, the opportunities, the platforms.
And it's only accelerating.
Tell me where it all started though, with specifically like when you went on and did this brand of marketing, where was the opportunity? Obviously we talked about B2B. Is a certain type of industry that you gravitated to, or where did you find success in the beginning?
Well, being a B2B agency, the thing that I get really excited about is that we work with all the non-sexy brands. And you're going to laugh to think of that, but earlier in my career, I did marketing for tobacco and Skittles. And while there's nothing against Skittles, it wasn't the kind of thing that I got very excited about. And I didn't want to promote brands that I felt like weren't making a difference in the world.
Right.
So today we represent big data center brands.
Gotcha.
People will say my stuff's in the cloud, and it's not actually in the cloud. It's on a server in a building somewhere, probably in one of our clients' facilities, and you access it via the cloud. We also represent telecom companies, cybersecurity companies, software as a service companies, a lot of companies who are providing really the backbone of how we live our lives today. So everything you access on your phone to get business done is the type of business that we represent.
Ooh, I like that. And that's the ever-evolving space, obviously, too, as well. So good positioning for your agency, in that obviously technology is not going away. We ain't going back. I always tell my dad, we're not going back to the horse and buggy, Dad. There's Teslas on the road, dude. Like, just remember that.
Right.
You might ride a horse and buggy for fun. It might be entertaining, but Tesla is going to be, there's going to be 20 years going to be like Tesla's the horse and buggy. It's going to be
absolutely
the thing.
And you need the right ride to get your company where you need to go.
That's true. And also know what socially you need to know hey, what platforms to not be on and spend all your time on too, because maybe your customers are not there and you don't need to be on TikTok, for instance, which I love TikTok. It's a great platform, but it's not applicable to every brand unless you really just want to have fun.
Certainly not in our space, for the world's biggest brands. And even if you're a mid-market company, because we primarily work with mid-market companies from $5 to $50 million in revenue, companies who really want to grow to the next level, but maybe don't have the money to have that world-class marketing team or in-house CMO that bigger companies have. So I tend to serve as a fractional CMO, meaning a part-time CMO. And for about the same cost as hiring a CMO yourself, you can get me as your fractional CMO. Plus, you can get my entire marketing team to complement whichever marketing folks you have on your team.
I like
and
that.
The reason that that's so powerful today is, think about coming out of COVID and how many people are working at home, and you've just found different ways to get the same thing done more efficiently. Right. Well, having a fractional CMO and agency is one way to get things done more efficiently, more cost effectively, without the overhead of a traditional way to staff a marketing department. So if you think you can't afford a traditional big in-house marketing department, or you're struggling along with some generalists who just don't have the specialized expertise that you need, then a fractional CMO is maybe the way to go. And a lot of people, it's kind of an industry that's been evolving for a little while, fractional CMOs. But most of those fractional,
it's a new term.
Yeah, most of those fractional CMOs are somebody, a CMO later in their career who now wants to work part-time, that kind of thing. Our model is a little different. So I serve as fractional CMO for a handful of companies, and my team, my agency team, actually provides senior level specialists in marketing along with it. So you don't just get the fractional CMO, but you get the team, and then you get people who are incredibly experienced in Google ads or programmatic advertising, or writing really thoughtful, great content, technical content, or how to create a website that has the right kind of messaging that's actually going to convert, those kinds of things.
And because you can't do it all on your own. Let's just be real. Right. If you're an agency owner and you're doing it all, you're not going to be able to grow. It's going to be real tough. But I love that. And fractional CMO, because I can't tell you how many pitches I came in on, Sheila, both on the agency side when they bring us in to kind of become part of their social team, or we're pitching in an agency, or we're pitching, and a lot of times the agency owner comes in, they pitch the account, you'll never see that agency owner again. Right. Literally, they just send the next, intern, the next junior squad interns coming on your account, and then they got some mid-level manager kind of managing them, and then that person decides to leave, and next thing you know, you have another account executive, and literally you never see that boss again. So I like this term of fractional CMO, because you really need the boss's mindset. You need their strategies. You need their experience on your campaigns actively for it to work too, and for it to work too, because sometimes those are the smartest people in the room is the boss. He created this thing, or she created this thing. And if she's just playing golf or whatever she's doing, or, they don't get the real value, the client. Where I like your model, because they're going to get the true value. Plus they get the experts in their different industries, but they really get your experience, which in a marketing agency, typically they never do. Typically it's the junior person or the beginning person to get these new accounts. And I've just seen it time and time again, and different models are different. Let's just be real. They evolve, they change. But I like this term, fractional CMO. I like it. It's a cool term, folks. And I really think it's a very relevant term to the world we're living in now, where people want to have the boss on board, but not maybe at the full cost. And then, like I said, you surround yourself with experts. So campaigns make it happen. That's the most important thing.
Right. Well, the results are what's important to have happen. So every business owner has a dream of what they want to have happen with their company. They want to scale, they want to exit, whatever they want to do. And in order to get there, a lot of times it's hard to do it when you don't quite have the budget to do it. So an example is a company that we worked with for about 10 years, where I served as their head of marketing. Two partners had developed the business from scratch. in Waco, Texas. And they did a really great business supporting the human resources and recruiting business. And one of the two partners died. Oh, wow. They were in their 70s and one of them died. And the other one was then in partnership with that man's wife.
Wow.
And so he wanted to make a big change. So we had built a great system generating, in excess of 600 leads a month for them for about 10 years. And he came to me and he said, Sheila, I've just realized I need to exit this. How can we turn this up? So at that point, we had taken them from about 5 million to 20 million. He's like, I got to get this to 30 million.
Right.
Fast.
So I can show the numbers. And so someone comes and buys it.
Right. So in that particular case, acting as their VP of marketing, their chief marketing officer, worked with my team, and we put that whole program into overdrive. He was able to sell that company for about 35 million. Bam. Just 10 months later.
Bam.
So that's hard to do if you have to create that inside your company. And if you want to scale, if you want to get to the next level, it's hard to move that quickly. But for companies who do want to grow and want to really focus their budget on, it may be stretched in a lot of different ways. This is a great way to do it and get all of the same resources at a fraction of the cost.
Right.
So they can get a $2 million marketing department for a couple $100,000. I mean, that's really what the fraction means.
It's so important, though. It's so important to use your money wisely in marketing too, as well. So I love this model. Take us and tell what types of services do you guys really find that really your strengths? What people are coming to you, they're like, I need more of this.
Right. Well, all the kinds of marketing that every company needs coming out of the pandemic. So the pandemic pushed everybody to advertising and being present on digital.
Gotcha.
And so we are experts at digital marketing, everything from web development to content, to websites, to online and digital advertising, programmatic advertising, retargeting, those kinds of things, SEO, to make sure that a company is found everywhere their prospects are looking. We also do outbound in addition to inbound. Outbound marketing is where you pick a known list of accounts that you'd like to have as clients, and you got to reach out to them. You got to reach out to them with LinkedIn and email and things like that. And so we do an integrated program that isn't so much focused on each of those individual channels, but is focused on how many leads do you need, at what quality.
Got you.
To fill your sales pipe.
I love that. Yeah, let's just be real. That's what it really comes down to.
Right.
At the end of the day, and then obviously you can scale up or scale down by that.
Right.
Love that. And that's a beautiful thing when I moved into digital after working in broadcasts, was I could actually show campaign results and we can actually deliver these things. And I know how many people saw my ad, and I didn't know, you don't know still on many markets who sees your ad and where they go and what happens on broadcast, although it's still very powerful and very still effective for the right budget, for the right time, for the right moment. And obviously if you're a big brand like McDonald's or whatever, you got to be on there all the time. But for most businesses, you got to be strategic with broadcast because it can blow your budget real quick in most markets. And with digital and with some of these other vehicles, obviously we talked about, it's incredible. Like with retargeting, what you can do with the budget, with the retargeting budget, how effective that can be. Because these are your hottest leads. People visiting your website, people visiting your app, or that's your hottest lead.
Right. Now that we're coming out of the pandemic, you can do some really cool stuff. So people are starting to go to trade shows again. We can geofence a trade show and show ads to folks when they're in the building. There's all kinds of really innovative things that we can do to get you in front of your prospects. But the challenge today isn't even as much the channels, but how many touches it takes to get somebody to move to the next level. So Google research shows that it takes 7 to 16 touches. So a touch could be an email and seeing a billboard and a retargeting ad that's following you around, and a text message. Those are all touches. So it now takes 7 to 16 touches just to get somebody to move to the next stage. Because each of us gets more than 5,000 marketing messages a day. So how are you going to break through? You've got to have really great messaging. Wow. You've got to have really clear messaging that explains very quickly how you help solve their problems. And that's the number one thing that goes wrong especially in B2B businesses is we have, technical clients who talk a lot about features of whatever their thing does, but they don't talk about what are the pains of the people they want to sell to and how they solve those pains. And so having really clear messaging and then a system to generate those leads, we do that. And most of our clients have been with us 2, 3, 5, 10, 12 years because the machine just keeps going. And if you know that you can get, for every $10,000 you spend, you're going to make $500,000.
Oh yeah.
You would do that all night, all day.
Everybody. And a lot of these brands don't need to advertise. So this is a way for them, like you said, to really spike it to the next level. Because if they haven't done any type of marketing efforts to this point and they're already successful, imagine doing some of these things and targeting the right folks. And then all of a sudden, boom. Another one that I like too is intentional direct mail, where it's basically like the retargeting if they've been to your website and then they send them a direct mail piece. I'm like, oh, it's cool too. That's another tactical way of using direct mail, because direct mail is effective in ways like that, I think, Obviously, a lot of us just take the direct mail and throw it in the garbage. But we're not going to, all advertising works.
It depends on what the message is.
It depends on what the message is.
Those words are.
And also what it looks like. Is it the golden ticket or is it just like the kind of blasé,
Right. I think about those Valpak mailers that I put in the trash every single month until the 1 month when I really do need a garage door. And that's when it arrives.
Open.
The idea is to be there and be top of mind people make decisions.
So true. I love that. Being 7 to 16 touches, folks. You got to remember that. That's a great statistic for all of us to remind ourselves. Can't be posting enough. Can't be doing different. Got to be doing lots of different things to touch these people and make sure you're in the top of their minds, because they're busy. We're all busy.
And tell a story about how you can help solve their challenges, whether they knew they had the challenges or not. But if you can, so I'm a certified story brand guide, and Don Miller, who created Story Brand, has a really great thing that he says, you go to a cocktail party and somebody asks you, what do you do? And you start out, my company was started 75 years ago by my grandpa, and we've just had a really good year. And what happens to the person who's listening? They just completely tune out because it's nothing about them.
Right.
And all we care about is what's in it for us.
So true.
Your marketing has to focus on and be really clear about saying, you have these things. We understand those things, those pains, and this is what we can do to help you. And then somebody goes, aha, we have one particular client in the cybersecurity space where we realized that they actually don't sell to chief information security officers. They sell to the head of sales because they help with data security addendums, for example. And so for this particular company, the person in pain around data security is the head of sales, because they can't get their new contract done because they need to prove that they have the right data security to get their new deal with some big enterprise company.
Gotcha.
And so we completely changed the messaging to say, if you are frustrated, if your sales proposals are stalled for data security addendums, we can help you get compliant quickly.
I love
that. After we put that message up, a prospect called and talked to the owner of our client's business and said, I need this and listed the things that were on the homepage of the website.
Wow.
Like verbatim. Like that's how much that message resonated.
Yes. And like you said, because a lot of people are focused on the features and they don't focus on solving these pain points. Now, Sheila, we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
I am. Bring it on.
Let's go. Apple or Android?
Android.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Instagram or Facebook? Facebook. Chicken or
LinkedIn. But
LinkedIn. Let's go. LinkedIn. Owned by Microsoft now. Chicken or steak? Chicken. Laptop or a smartphone?
Oh, both.
Both. Let's go both.
Long.
Why not? Spotify or Pandora for music or content? Spotify. Movies or video games?
Movies.
reading books or listening to books?
Listening. Absolutely.
Listening. Too much productivity there. Stocks or real estate if you're thinking about diversifying outside the business? Both, babe. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Diversification is all assets. Whatever that looks like. It's a accumulation slowly, fastly. People forget. It's snowball.
It's a diversified portfolio for sure.
Such a beautiful thing. And because we all deserve it, if you were to take a vacation right now, you guys have the number one most friendly airport in the world is the Phoenix Airport. Oceans or lakes? Which one are you going to tonight?
Ocean.
Ocean. What ocean would you want to go to?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Oh, hell yeah.
Ocean around New Zealand.
Beautiful. Incredible.
I just got back from Antarctica. It was amazing too. Yeah.
Wow.
It was incredible. It was very cold and incredibly beautiful. I highly recommend Antarctica.
Oh my God. That's like a dream right there. Antarctica. Wow. Once I get the kids a little older, we're going to have to go on some more adventures here. And you're waking up for your day and you're getting yourself ready, pumped, energized. Why do you love being you?
Oh gosh, there's just so much to do and contribute every day. I just love getting up and going to work and doing this thing that I've been doing for a long time, helping companies grow their businesses, helping my community. My life is awesome.
That's all you can ask for, right? Like we are the superhero and you are the superhero. And for your team, for your customers, for your clients, for family, do you think you'll ever retire from the game? Do you think you'll ever close down the agency or sell the agency and say, I'm done? Off to adventure.
Eventually, I'm 53. I'm not ready yet.
Right.
But at some point, yeah. And that'll be a great thing. It'll be a great thing for the team.
Absolutely.
It'll be a great transition.
When the time is right.
Yeah.
When the time is right. Everyone's got a different goal on that. Some people, I'm rocking it till the end. Some people, they want the adventure still awaits for them. And I like that.
I think it changes depending on your age. If you'd asked me 10 years ago, I'm like, no, I will never stop.
Right.
Never stop.
Right. The younger 30-year-old entrepreneurs. And
maybe in another 10 years or so. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said.
And it's really about shifting gears. I don't think I'll stop contributing. But running at the pace of an agency, that's a different 100%. Pace that I don't want to do forever. But I love it right now.
The campaigns can be brutal in some cases. I remember when working in the agency, you got deadlines, you got lots of things to get done.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And also the beautiful thing too about our industry is it's always challenging, always something to learn, constantly evolving, never the same. And you're always having to kind of stay on the top of your game. Is there something you're trying to master right now or get better at?
Yeah, I'm way into artificial intelligence.
Oh, nice.
And how can we leverage artificial intelligence to be more personalized in our marketing?
Wow. Yes. I mean, we're interviewing Kai-Fu Lee.
Awesome.
An incredible person around AI, right? Like an incredible with AI superpowers. And I mean, if you are not taking AI seriously, folks, in marketing and all different aspects of your business, it's coming. I mean, and the beautiful thing is we're going to be able to do things that if you aren't a programmer, your AI will be able to help you program. And like, so we won't have to know all the things, but you will have to know how to embrace it and not be afraid always too. And so constantly learning.
Just like the web, it's going to be everywhere. It's already in so many.
It's already there. Yeah.
Things that we do every day and we don't even think about it. Of course, starting with Alexa and Google and Siri. But predictive. It's literally, and we love smart devices. We love smart everything. And we're just at the beginning of it.
Oh, I love when I'm typing on my Gmail app and it literally is going to predict the rest of my sentence. And I'm like, swipe right. I love that. I love when I'm on Google and I start typing in whatever I want and it pops up. I love that. That's AI, folks. That's literally. Yeah.
And in most of this stuff it's going to pick out your clothes and your toothpaste and everything else.
I love that. Let's go. I'm ready for the future. We're living in the future. Do you have a favorite app or a tool that helps you in your business? Either more productive or just basically you just love using?
Yeah. So we use Teamwork Projects.
Oh, nice.
It is not one of the most well-known project management systems, but the app and the desktop site is amazing. We just run our whole agency off of it and I highly recommend it. And I don't get anything for saying that, but it's awesome.
Teamwork Projects. It's so important to have tools, right? To run the business, keep people organized, keep them on task. let's go. We need to take to the next step. We need to know what the deadline is. And some of this stuff to be automated or in some way to be, less work on all of us, because obviously we're already working enough on our customers' campaigns. And if you could sit down for a lovely dinner with anyone in the world tonight, who would you want to sit down? And they're coming out to you in Tempe.
Ooh, so they got to be alive.
They don't have to be alive. We've had every single type of guest, to be honest with you, after 300.
If anybody, I'd pick Eleanor Roosevelt.
Ooh, wow. Why would you pick Eleanor Roosevelt? I love hearing stories about her.
She's a pioneer. She's really thoughtful, had a lot to do kind of in the background because women weren't really able to be in the foreground at that point. I think she'd be fascinating to talk with. But I have a long list of people I'd love to meet.
I love
the Prime Minister of New Zealand. I would totally love to meet her. She's in her 40s and she's Prime Minister of a country,
right?
And doing some incredible stuff. So a lot of different great people.
A lot of people out here in America want to go to New Zealand and live out there right now.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that when I.
You gotta have Google rights to have that. You gotta have Google money to go out there right now. Right. Is there a book that has touched your soul, or that you just love reading, or you kind of gravitated to?
Oh, so many. I am reading a really cool book right now called BE 2.0, Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0.
Oh, I think
it's Jim Collins' remake of
one.
That classic, and it's really, really good.
That's a good one on Audible.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like that one.
It's one I don't even listen at 1.5 or 2 speed. I just listen on 1 speed because it's
nice. Soak it in. Soak it in. Some of those books you got to slow down. I mean, there's a piece to like listening at 10x. Let's go 10x on this thing, but I'll get it done in 2 minutes. But you won't know anything I said. But then there's also, like you said, some of those books you got. That's a foundational book. I mean, that is just such a foundational book. Well, I appreciate your time today, Sheila. And your soul and energy and what you're doing for your customers in this B2B space that are obviously in need of your help, because more and more of these businesses are needing to either grow or take it to the next level, or they need to exit. They're ready to, and they need help because a lot of times these companies haven't even advertised. They haven't even marketed correctly, or even you're finding they're not marketing to the right person, and with a little change in the message, you can literally grow. And also, like you said, at a fractional price, you got the boss lady at a fraction here. So I love that. If someone is interested, can you kind of gravitate them to where we would like to, learn more about the business, learn more about the agency?
Well, Travis, thanks so much for having me on your show. I listen all the time and your show is amazing. You have the best people on. So I'm in rare company and I just am really honored to have been on the show. Anybody can reach us at keomarketing.com, or you can do a search for me on LinkedIn. It's Sheila Kloefkorn, Kloef like Frank, Korn, and would love to connect. We provide a complimentary audit to B2B businesses who want a roadmap for how to grow, and they get to keep that regardless of whether they hire us or not.
Wow. So take advantage of that. That's an incredible value. If you're listening, she's giving before she gets anything, and you guys can take the roadmap with you. I like that. So put that in the show notes. You guys can easily hit that. But thank you, Miss Sheila. Like I always say to all my guests, the world is full of abundance. Continued abundance and blessings your way. Continued gracious gratitude. I know you're going to do it right for your customers, for your team, for your family. And when the time is right, I know your life is full of adventure in that next point in chapter. And but I really appreciate you coming on the show today. Folks, you've been hanging out with Sheila Kloefkorn and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real.
What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now. And Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now. Take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services at little to no cost for most of the businesses. And some businesses, you're going to have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now. So take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out. And we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.